Disrespect.
or anything.
Weird. Huh.
And I was like, and this girl was saying that her boyfriend said that the country she comes from is effed up because you can shoot people for being on your property. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
This sounds pretty great sometimes.
I'm like, I don't do it, but I like having the right to.
Right.
And
Versus.
so I was like, that's honestly kind of weird.
Versus having the wrong to.
Right. And I was like, it's honestly kind of weird that I enjoy having a right to protect myself if I needed to use it.
Yeah, no trouble.
I don't think so.
Some people just be straight goobers.
Oh, you're lying.
Yeah. It's okay. I think a lot of people like to protect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm like gonna whip out a gun and shoot people all the
Well,
time.
no.
But I'm like, I don't believe everyone is nice. That's crazy. Like, I just like that if I needed to in a dire situation, I could. Not that I'm like gonna, not like sitting there like amped up and waiting.
Right. Here.
That's psychopath.
Hey guys, so the first thing we're looking at tonight is a emergency quick repair on a torso by Noble Bear Studios. Anthony, he's. I won't go any further as to why, but anyway, he asked me to repair it. So we're going to go through it. Basically, here I'm going to use this to kind of help get my size and repair and everything. Yeah, let's get started. So when you import a STL file, which is what he got me, I know they try to like they have this import button, and it makes you think, oh, I should use this thing, but really you shouldn't. That is not where you do it. Z plugin, import STL file, and torso 001 repaired, and here it is. Okay, that should be. I wonder why. Let's see what happened. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and just do my thing. Append. Append. There we go. Now we just want to match the. Whoa! Okay. There we go. I think we're on the money. I don't.
I hate your phone.
Sorry, babe.
This is all the zigzaggy stuff. Then doesn't correct me. My phone knows how bad I mistype. Your phone doesn't. It's like, I don't even know how to help you there. I'm like, I was only 3 letters off.
So the first thing he noticed was there's a little snag that occurs right in the armor. It's not completely meshed, so we're going to fix this. He said the hole for it is not big enough, so we're gonna have 2 models because he said he could at least just drill out the hole if he wanted to. Let's kind of make this hole real quick. I think that should be the quickest thing to do. What I'm curious about is what the actual size of this hole is, and the best way to accomplish that is we're going to make this. Stick it like that. Duplicate. And so now, this is what the hole looks like. Look at that. I'm not sure if that's fully correct on what it's going to ultimately look like, but you know what, we'll just roll with it. So we're going to use just a cylinder here.
why does your phone scroll in high definition?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It just seems so much clearer than my phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, man, I feel like yours moves like, I don't know, mine has a softness to it, and yours has like a really crisp quickness. I don't know,
okay.
it's weird.
So I think that's the shape we're going for. And
I feel like what I'm saying doesn't make sense. It does in my head.
I'm going to go over here, Dynamesh, because you can't dig out a hole without Dynamesh. And then what we're going to do. So if I look at this, well, I don't see why it's so much wrong about it. I'm a little confused. Huh. I'm not sure what. I don't see. The thing I just made is smaller, Anthony. I'm a little bit confused. Hey, Blake. How's it going? The power get fixed? Yes. Yeah. It got fixed at 10:30.
10:30.
So 3 hours. Anthony, if you watched
No, it was
this,
over 3 hours.
6:45 to 10:30.
Yeah. Yeah, 3.5.
I'm just gonna make it really big now, Anthony, because I'm not sure what else to do. Like the size looks like it's actually bigger than the one. Unless that was the complaint. Forget it. I told him we'll address the hole later if we have to. On that note, let's then. Okay. Nope, we're not going to duplicate it. Sorry, let's fix it first. Pinned sphere. Okay, now we're going to start moving it around. Move it around now. Oh. That might be a family secret there, Blake.
What?
Yes, how I recreated the torsos.
Best kept secret.
Best kept secret. Hush, hush, don't tell anyone. It's actually really. So this one, let's see, how do I put it? So the one that you usually see me use is a 3D scan, and if anyone tries to tell you that they rebuilt it, I would call them out for being a liar, to be honest. I'm like, there's no way that it has that much accuracy without being a 3D scan. I just don't believe it. And the way the mesh ends up looking, like, this is classic of 3D scans. So if you see anyone with anything like this, it's a 3D scan. Now, I don't think they necessarily like us having 3D scans, but that's mostly because they don't want us selling it. But I do not do that, and I've had it for months, so I would hope that I'm trustworthy enough to not freak out about the fact that I have it. And so this one, ultimately he just added armor onto that, so that's what you're looking at there. I don't know if Anthony wanted me to make this look super like it went in there, or if he was just mostly concerned about functionality. I don't think it looks off, per se. I think that's good. So we're going to go ahead and Subtool Master. Mirror X, which that's gonna probably. Oh, that looked pretty much exactly right. Okay. Okay, cool. So let's just duplicate this for now. This is going to be the untouched one. Got to move that up. Yep, wait. That up. And when you already have like high definition stuff, you got to watch out with Dynamesh. You got to like really pump that bad boy, or else you're going to lose like all the detail that occurred. Alterations are always the best. Yeah, it's cool. Makes life a little bit easier than having to reinvent the wheel. I might be a little blasphemous with this thought process, but given that the biggest thing about the line was to make custom bits for it and to really promote creators, I'm not sure why they wouldn't just give away or sell. They could sell the STL files even. Sell the files for it, so that way. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
I know I spelled it wrong because I said confrontation, but come on, you couldn't get to confrontation?
Confrontation. I thought you were saying confirmation.
My phone is so good at knowing what I'm trying to type. I just now realized it. I can screw up all the time. My phone like almost always gets it right.
I'm sorry.
I've trained it to know that I'm not that good at typing because I have chunky fingers.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but like the longer I'm out of school, the worse my grammar is getting, and I hate it. I'm like,
I did the other day use the wrong there, which I actually get really irritated at people for doing all the time.
yeah, me
and
too.
I was like, theirs is the worst, and I did THERES with an apostrophe, and I was like, hold up, that shouldn't even be grammatically possible.
There is?
There is, but, well, I guess that's true. In the context of the sentence, though, I was like, why did my phone let me type that? That's the wrong theirs. Thankfully, I didn't send it. I caught it, and I was like, I did something wrong.
I messed up.
But I did use the wrong theirs, and I was like, oh my gosh, I, like, make fun of people for doing that. And then I, like, did it. How embarrassing.
How embarrassing. Anyway. Sorry.
I feel like maybe not everyone is like grammatically poignant like we are. Like we.
That's how I landed everybody. Like if you looked at me versus her, especially 10 years ago, you'd be like, how the heck?
For real.
How the heck did this?
Kids, I was doing all right.
Right. Almost 4 now.
Yeah, like me, like many years ago, prior to having a million children. But yeah, it was definitely because you texted me regularly all the time, wanting to know what I was doing, and I was like, oh my gosh,
I was a creeper.
He likes me. And then you typed everything so correctly. I just loved it.
It's true. Better save this thing before I mess it up. So the other day, or no, you know what's getting worse for me? I keep mistaking the different types of fill and feel.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel that way, and I'm like, no, feel, and then I'm like, the way you better feel that up, and I'm like, no, fill. I'm like, gosh dang it, like that one's really getting to me. Sell and sail is getting to me, and I'm like, what's going on? I used to be good at this. I'm still pretty good at math. Actually, I'm probably better at math because I took
I don't know. I'm
college
actually starting
algebra.
to catch up to you a little bit.
What is?
I'm probably starting to catch up to you finally a little bit.
In
I'm
math?
like testing myself with math problems when I can't sleep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, how do you
used
think
to never be able to do things like. No, I don't want to do it on the spot now because if I do it, I won't get it right, and then it'll take me like an embarrassing long amount of time.
So how do you think I'd last longer in certain situations?
Whoa.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm just finding my brain's starting to fade a little bit on this stuff, and it's very aggravating. It's not. It sucks to know you're smart and be smart, and then just start sounding dumb and like you're losing it. And I'm like,
I will say it makes me have a lot more respect for my mom when she says words that are like absolutely not words. And then I used to be like, my mom is kind of embarrassing, like what happened in the breakdown of like why she can't say words, doesn't know words, and can't spell things. And then I've had so many kids, and it's getting so much harder. I can't remember anyone's name any of the time. And I'm like, I'm so sorry for laughing at you, Mom. It's me. I did this to you. I ruined your brain.
is it me who broke your brain?
Like, I'm so sorry. Kids ruin your brain. You may start out as like an intelligent human being, and then your IQ it just gets
Wrong brush.
lower, lower, and lower the more kids you have.
I'm trying to like blend this in, but I'm also trying to not like ruin the shape. We'll just call it good. No one can see that part of the body anyway. Okay, that's it. That is where we needed to be.
Now you're done? Wow.
Well, I'm done with Anthony's thing. Better. Are you out there, Keith? We're about to get on yours. Let's see. So now what I got to do is, for sizing purposes, to get him his file back. We're going to open up the old file and see how big it is or whatever, and then match it. Stop it! No!
Did it just erase everything because you didn't say that?
Oh, no, not that.
Okay.
It's every time I have opened up my slicer program like 6 times in the last week because I keep making stuff, and it has made me update it like 3 out of those 6 times. And I'm like, stop it! I don't need to update every time, jerks. Like, oh bother, good grief. Think I mixed Droopy and Charlie Brown. They're kind of the same personality. Thought about that?
What was the first one?
Droopy and Charlie
Droopy
Brown.
Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good grief. Okay, what is our size?
Good grief is Charlie Brown.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh bother, is that him?
I
Maybe
think
not.
that's Droopy Dog.
Oh
Yeah.
bother.
Oh bother. He's like got that weirder voice.
Right. Oh, this didn't come in at the right size. Yeah, that's not correct. Okay then. Well, you know what? We'll get it even closer than what he's used to. We're gonna bounce it off of the one that I know is correct. Hey Keith, I'm actually about to get working on yours. Let's see.
He heard his ears burning.
He heard his ears
Yep,
burning?
as soon as I said it, I was like, I did that wrong.
So, I always click update, and then I come back here, and I know that my y-axis has to be 60.89. Should be good. Or technically it's 60.91. We'll go with that one for this particular instance. And then when I go to export it, once again, it's going to export all of these as off of the one size, so it'll correct everything to the one size. Anthony Spartan torso. So, if you have enjoyed looking at this torso, Anthony will be offering it real soon on Noble Bear Printing. He said his ears are burning up. Alright. One thing I'd like to point out on his torso, he made a good point. There's a lot of gaudy.
Go ahead. I have a fun idea. How many people do you have on your live?
Three, more than usual. Real quick, so
Play Mad Libs.
Mad Libs, they're online people. Maybe. Yeah. So anyway, Anthony thinks that the big shoulders are kind of gaudy, so this is his new approach. Is he's having built-in shoulder pads, so that way you have like nice, smaller, smoother ones. So if you like that, be on the lookout. He will be offering them real soon here.
Oh, we had 4 for a second, but they heard me mention Mad Libs and they were like, no.
So, if anyone wants to play Mad Libs with my wife,
I just thought it'd be really funny because in the middle you can be giving your tutorial and then I could be like, okay, now give me a...
Alright, so start it.
Like, I am. I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, me, I was already on it. I will go ahead and also look so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
Let's see.
I'm sorry. I blanked again.
What?
I forgot to make them smaller. Oh, vey. Okay. Sorry, a little bit longer. It's not too much longer. We just have to... I'm trying to send it to him and it's like half a gigabyte. I'm like, oh
okay.
gosh.
We're going to go with one called The Judge's Decision.
Decimation Master. Okay.
Alright. Whoever wants to go first, I need a noun. So a person, place, or thing.
Or idea.
Or idea, I guess.
The
I only
ideal
ever,
ones always make it a little weird.
I only ever did the person, place, or thing.
Person, place, thing, or idea. That's a noun. You didn't know that?
I never heard
No one's
idea
ever
in my
said.
life. It was always person, place, or thing when I was a kid.
Well, when you grow older, they tell you ideas also.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I just don't understand like how an idea
is a
can
noun.
be a noun.
What else is it? It's not an...
Because an idea is more than one thing.
But it's not...
You're not just sitting there like lemons. Like you're like, what if I made lemonade? That's an idea.
Okay, but you're not. So it's not a verb, and it's not an adjective, because it's a complete sentence. So...
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Keith says cheese.
I saw it.
Okay.
Alright, I will get the next one, because it's also a noun. Alright, I need a part of the body.
I had one pop in my head, and I was like, yeah, and I'm like, no, wait, that's inappropriate.
Part of the body.
Right
you
nostril.
can also be right nostril. I was gonna say you can always be really super obscure with it. I always like to do super obscure.
My favorite thing with part of the body, since it doesn't ever say it has to be a human, is I use animal parts like beaks, talons. Just a thought.
Alright, I need another. Oh, he said earlobe. Well, I need
We'll do it
another
for the next
noun.
one. That's a noun.
I need another noun if you want to use earlobe for noun. Or you can use literally any other thing in the entire galaxy.
Including the galaxy.
Yeah. Sometimes we like to go real crazy and do an adjective noun where you'd be like sloppy gorilla or like lazy cowboy.
Real cheese.
Yeah. Grilled cheese.
Not the sandwich. Just
Not
real
the.
cheese.
It's just literal cheese.
Just literal cheese that's been
It's
grilled.
been grilled.
Got it.
Or it has a grill on it.
Yeah.
Like a mouth grill.
Right? Ew.
Like for a wrapper.
I know I'm about to like lose people at this point because it's just staring at this silly torso. That's
Yeah,
like
what's going on with that?
I'm
Half of the galaxy.
I'm decreasing the size of the file so that way when I send it to Anthony, I'm not sending him like a whole gigabyte of stuff.
Ooh, adverb. So that's a verb ending in ly, like quickly, aggressively.
This is sometimes you have to deal with this boring the left half of the galaxy.
Oh no, I already just put half of the galaxy.
Anyway, part of Zbrush and this stuff is boring. You stare at your computer and you're like, compute faster, darn it! I don't want 2 minutes of computing.
More computing.
More.
How do I make you do more computing? My brain is computing faster than you.
I can compute these
You're a
polygons.
disgrace to computers.
Compute these polygons.
Computing, more like sitting there and doing nothing-ing.
If Anthony's watching, he's gonna be like, "You guys are like
We're
dummies."
hopped up. We had Mountain Dew.
Dr. Pepper.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Come here, me old man.
I come at you like a spider monkey.
I don't respect you.
He's like, what did he say? I fought in World War II.
There we go. We lost 2 people. I'm sorry.
People are like, oh, this is not my life.
Gosh, that's the funniest movie in the world. No pudding? No pudding? Is that on it?
What?
He said no pudding. I'm trying to... Oh, there it is.
Sure. Ooh, I get to use myself, unless you have a female who is currently in the live. Any females out there?
Hey.
Because we can use your name if you're a female.
And
then
you're
I
watching.
Can use your name. And you're watching right now.
This isn't creepy at all. Alright. Let's try this again. 3D Print Hub. Not to be confused with other things that end in hub. What's the next word anyway?
No computing. No puting is what he
Ah, gotcha.
Alright, how about an adjective? So a nice describing word. Slimy. Sexy.
Whoa.
Whoa. Ill-begotten.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Golden showers.
That's not an adjective, is it?
I don't know. Golden. Sorry.
Golden. Stay golden, pony boy.
Okay, now I have to figure out which
I
ones
really
of these are-
appreciate Keith. Languidly, okay. Oh, was that for the adverb? Dang, we might be behind.
How much are we behind on this?
In fairness, I didn't account for the lag for sure.
Grotesque?
Ooh, grotesque. That's a good one. All right.
I'm not even sure what languidly means.
I'm pretty sure it means. I think languid is slow and like taking your time.
Man, here we were talking about like being good at grammar and stuff, and I'm just like, what?
In fairness, it's not like it's a word I use regularly. So, but I think that is roughly the translation.
Okay, let's go ahead and get moving on because I can be doing other stuff while it loads forever on my email now. Keith here. Sorry, we had a guy named Keith at work, and that's how he answered the phone. Keith here.
Alright, so I'm gonna pick Keith as our other person in the room since he is our most active player. And now, alright, who can give me an animal? The cool thing about these is, like, I feel like you could do any animal, including, like, extinct animals, like the dodo bird, saber-toothed tigers, woolly mammoths. Shelob can make up an animal. I like doing that sometimes.
How do you make up an animal?
You'd be like
The skunk-faced...
A kangaroo lion.
Skunk-faced elephant?
Yeah. Like a giraffe-gator.
Alright. That's a new one. I haven't heard these plans yet.
What? I love making things up.
Anthony, if you're up and watching, I just sent you the torso.
It's too... Isn't he in California?
He's in
He's
Colorado.
in Colorado, that's
But it's
right.
still...
But it's still 1 hour behind. So
Well,
he should be asleep.
mostly the question, I guess, was if he's around to hear this.
There you go. Man, now I want to use giraffe-gator.
My wife.
One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Will it do that?
No, that's too many.
That's what I figured.
I could say it though. I could put in flying purple people eater, and then I would know to say the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Abbreviated like LMFAO band abbreviated their name.
OEOHFPPE. I'm not sure I would remember to say that. Alright, I'm just gonna throw one out, guys.
That's what she said?
I wish I was playing on my phone. I need it to know my bad typing.
I thought you were, and then you were using my phone to check Facebook.
I should have done it that direction, but I did not do it that direction. A giraffe-gator is a questing beast?
I think he... questing in the sense of, like, you'd go out to kill it, or, like, you can, like, mount it and, like...
Can you imagine if like, it was an alligator...
No.
In the body, and then, like, its neck was armored, but it had, like, a giraffe neck, and then off of its giraffe-ish type face, it still had horrifying teeth? That would be disgusting. Alright, plural noun, anyone? You can do anything in the whole world.
That's a noun.
Do cheese sticks. Now I'm just stuck on cheese because we keep talking about it. Home
Wreckers?
Home bodies.
Home wreckers?
Home wreckers. Angry rabbits. I like to throw descriptors in.
Sleazy slut?
Whoa! Jeez Louise!
There's kids watching this thing.
See, the fun part about when you throw a descriptor on your noun, you can be like, exceptionally small pants.
I thought you were going
And then
somewhere
people
else
will
with
be
that.
like, whoa.
Those are exceptionally small.
Keith, you want our plural noun to be nouns? I'm gonna do it. Alright, what about a place?
The moon.
The moon, alright. Alright, person in room. I'm gonna pick the next person. We'll add Blake to it. Yep. Since Blake is participating. Now I need another adjective.
Pepto-Bismol pink.
Okay, alright. Ooh, it's gonna be like 600 nouns in a row. So just start throwing out nouns, guys. Any nouns you can think of, and I will use as many as it takes in the next. There's gonna be at least 3 of them.
How do you know?
Because I can see what comes next. So right now it's a noun, and then it shows me there's 2 more nouns. Legs of a tiger, feet of a deer, tail of a horse, neck of a snake, mane of a lion, questing beast.
Is that on something, or you just made that up?
I don't know. I'm just gonna pull a thing of his. I think I'm gonna pull questing beast because he said it twice now. I'm gonna make it his noun.
Congratulations.
I almost spelled questing Bessie.
Questing Bessie.
All right.
Questing Bessie. Sometimes it argues with me, and even though I'm adding clay, it's like, nope. It's like, no, I don't think you are. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was. And it's like, well, Alright. Yeah. Yeah, girl, yeah. Am I hyper? Yes, I am. I'm sad they stopped that in Final Space.
He is doing that.
Not the same, though. It's a little bit different. He's not doing the, am I this? Yes, I am. Spit on my screen when I did that. I was so lispy.
You were super excited. Okay. Alright, so we've got, I'm pulling in blanks. So here we've got an adjective he gave, swollen. And then I'm going to take his, let's see.
It's all out of oil. Just kind of outline it here a little bit more, give it a little bit more definition.
Okay. I pulled some of the people's different things through the chats. So, when it was, so this is the judge's decision. When it was my turn, oh, that's a real thing. A giraffigator's a real thing.
Nice.
Okay, when it was my turn to audition for Cheese Idol, the reality show where people compete to be the best solo stinky labradoodle, I sang from the depths of my very right nostril. When my song ended, I could hardly catch my half of the galaxy as I aggressively awaited the judge's response. First, Alicia was very kind. She said, well, the good news is that you look grotesque. And that you really connected with the slippery ducks in that song. Then Keith said, you know, decapitated unicorn, I dug your nouns. And I thought you really had a chance to make it to the moon. But then mean old Blake said, horrid, terrible, Pepto-Bismol pink. You sounded like an animal trapped inside a questing beast. I gasped and shouted, well, you just don't know anything about rabbit snakes. I stormed out of the overdramatic tiger. I was going to make it as a swollen singer, whether that judge from Languid Lapping Liquid Idol liked me or not. Languid Lion Lapping Liquid Idol. There we go. I have to say, grotesque was perfect.
It was.
You look grotesque.
You look grotesque. Oh yeah,
Oh,
well
man.
you look grotesque.
That was great.
All right. I like
Thanks,
that.
everyone.
That's right. Keith, I think that yours look Moroccan.
Moroccan?
Moroccan.
Ugh.
Okay, you mentioned
Oh,
square.
okay, okay. Keith is the face you're working on.
Yes. Okay, I see. I think I see where I can make your jaw more squarely.
So that's really interesting. I thought I was making up Giraffigator. Look at me not being that creative. That was moving. Thank you, Keith. Beautiful story of triumph over adversity when you look grotesque and people only half like you for your nouns. Oh man, that's great.
What's going on? Oh, Lord, come on. What are we doing here?
That's awesome. I have to say, oh my gosh, you can literally hear me open my chips. That's so embarrassing.
I mean, they might have thought it was mine until... But then again, I'm still moving.
That's
so.
concerning how loud it is. I'm all the way over here. I wonder if they can hear me chew.
We can hear you breathe.
Alright, you cannot hear me chew, so that's a positive. You can hear me wrestle in my chip bag. So, Keith, what do you do for a living? I feel like if we're going to stare at your face, we should know more about you.
If you told you, he'd have to kill you.
I feel like somebody who's putting their face on the internet wouldn't do a job that they'd have to kill you if you knew about it.
Well, we don't know that his plan isn't to kill us yet.
Oh, man. Please don't kill me. I would miss hot Cheetos so bad.
And Hot Cheetos would miss you.
It would. They'd be like, where's that girl who was keeping us in business?
And Hot Cheetos suddenly went out of business. Unexplainably.
Stocks plummeted today for hot Cheetos. Sales hit a record low. Specifically in Arkansas.
Because pregnant ladies everywhere stopped eating. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. On the left half of the galaxy? I don't think I've ever been there. I'm just joking. I have no idea where our planet is in relation to the galaxy. Not only is geography not my strong suit,
Neither is the
but
galaxy.
then as you spread it farther and farther, it gets harder and harder. For me.
That's what she said.
Whoa. Whoa. That worked too well. So, what I was meaning is, like, I literally don't know the order of the planets. I don't think I've ever known the order of the planets. Not once in my entire life was I ever quizzed on the order of the planets. I never made a 3D model. Whereas, like, at least with the Earth, if you were like, can you point at, like, the general vicinity of Europe? I could, like, point to Europe.
Ugh. Is this squared enough like you were wanting, Keith? Or you mentioned, let's see. Let's try to get this. Like that? Is that what you were?
Developer, do they develop software for any, like, type of device, or is it exclusively for computers? Like, can you do it for phones and tablets?
I would think if you're a software developer, you're probably computer because of software, whereas the other would be application developer.
Is it? Okay.
Or app developer or whatever.
I don't know enough about technology.
Like that better, sweet. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so looking at your head then, the last adjustments that I believe we need to make is making your hair look choppier and less wavy. Is that correct?
just forget your pin on your phone for a second. I just stare at it and I'm like, what the heck is it?
What does this do?
Oh shoot. Who are you talking to people in? Was it Messenger?
Yeah. Could do either. I just work in computer code. Gotcha.
Ha! I wasn't wrong.
I guess not.
Cool.
All right.
I know a thing. A little.
Just gonna kind of smooth it out a little bit, so that way we can come back at it with a fresher.
Oh, okay. If I spewed a random assortment of zeros and ones, could you decode it?
That's hilarious.
I imagine, like, you kind of have to know it off the top of your head what zeros and ones make, right? In order to code, or does it go through a program to code?
Yeah, usually it's through a program. Usually the computer does that.
Chin jut out a little less seems too pronounced from the side.
I think as I try to round it.
I feel like you need so many zeros and ones, though, just to make one word. Oh, Blake coming in over here, apparently knowing the order of the planets. He says Mercury, Venus, Earth. Hold up, wait. Earth is the third? Yep, because it's called third rock from the sun. I knew that. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in my heart.
I think they actually reinstated its planet.
I don't know. I heard it was, and then I haven't heard anyone talking about Pluto.
I mean, just saying. What was it that the one person brought up? They're like, "Oh, we took down the god of death or the god of death."
Oh yeah, you guys
planet,
demoted Pluto, and then we got
COVID
something,
and blah
yeah.
blah. Like, way to go.
I never understood that they said that something about Pluto just seemed like it was the moon of another planet.
That fell off of it, yeah. Fell out
Yeah,
of its
but if it was a
orbit.
standalone and it wasn't in the gravity of another planet, how does that not make it its own planet?
Don't think it has a core.
Is that how you decide what a planet is?
I think almost every planet has a core. Yeah.
I always just assumed it had something to do with their gravitational pull.
It
I
has
figured
zero.
if they had their own gravitational pull and made the planet.
Has no atmosphere at all.
I literally don't know science. I'm just now realizing. I know nothing about what makes a planet, why.
What makes a planet Y? I don't know what makes a planet Y either, to be honest.
I'm just I was over here having kids makes you dumber, and then maybe you need to be a little bit smarter to begin with.
Indubitably.
Definitely I'm an English and history person. I am not a science and math person.
And cooking person.
I'm not sure where that falls. Technically, that's a science.
But they also consider it art, so...
He didn't need more work. He said, hey, this is a chill guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Its new designation is dwarf planet. I love how people always are out here saying size doesn't matter, and then it's well, it mattered for Pluto. Got demoted just because they didn't think it was big enough to be a planet. That's so rude. But I will say, if that's the case, then what the heck do they classify a freaking planet as? How do you... bigger than a star, but smaller than the sun, which is the biggest star?
No, you're so off.
What?
The sun's one of the smallest stars.
What?
It's not that big.
I am so confused. Are you positive?
It's
I'm
not
gonna
very
look that
big.
stuff on the internet.
You like this texture better, Keith? Because it's about the best I can do with this brush, and given limitations of clay.
What?
Do we have an asteroid belt?
Yeah, we do, right?
He said.
Also, okay, well,
What's its name?
Orion?
Asteroid belt. Not.
I know! That time I was making a joke.
Uh,
Goodness. But, for real though, it says the sun may appear to be the largest star in the sky, but that's just because it's the closest. On a stellar scale, it's actually quite average.
yeah.
About half of the known stars are larger and half are smaller. So, how come the sun is the one that gives... Like, if you were to get close to another star, is it also as hot as the sun?
Some can burn hotter. I think there's also cold stars.
How is it that all the planets only manage to be close enough to the sun for them to be hot? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, are stars spread out so far?
Yes. Like almost each star probably
I'm
has
getting
its.
sadder that the universe is infinitely larger than I expected.
Like almost each star has its own planets around it. So then each star has to be that much further away from each other, like multiple galaxies and universes and stuff from each other.
I'm getting really sad because, I will say, watching Doctor
Okay,
Who when
cool.
he always goes to different planets and stuff, my assumption was just that he was in a different galaxy, and that's why there were so many other planets. But now that I'm realizing that, it could still have been our galaxy and just not our solar system, and that our solar system is not necessarily the only planets we know of in the galaxy, it's just the only ones that we know of in our system that we can see, is weird to me. And I don't like that information.
I don't
And
think
now
we're.
I'm this is why I don't like science.
I don't think we're losing out on much in our own galaxy, our own solar system. I think we know pretty much everything in our own solar system. There's not a
Well, how
hidden
come in pictures of the
10th
solar
planet.
system do they never show other stars? Which means
Because there's no
galaxy-
stars in our solar system except the sun. The sun is the only star in our solar system.
What? Where'd all the stars we see in the sky come from?
Millions of galaxies away.
They aren't even our own galaxy?
No.
This is literally blowing my mind. Guys, public school did not teach me this information. I guarantee it. I guarantee you I did not just fall asleep and not listen to this. I did not learn this in school. I literally only heard that the stars were old, balls of light dying out. That's all I've ever heard. I've never heard that it wasn't even that the stars were just not in our galaxy. I'm fact checking you on this because I'm like, what? You're a liar. We do too have stars in the Milky Way.
Well, I said solar
Astronomers
system.
estimate there are about 100,000 million stars in the
Then-
Milky Way alone.
Fine, the Milky Way might be bigger, but
Well, that's
but
what
our
I'm
solar
saying.
system only has one star.
Right.
Well, that's what I said. I literally said that.
So what I was saying is our galaxy, the Milky Way, I thought literally consisted of exclusively our solar system.
Ah, yeah.
But if it's so much more infinitely larger, there could be entirely different sets of solar systems that we literally don't know because we can't see them. Which confuses me because I thought we had used a telescope to see some of the other galaxies.
We have.
So we didn't see other planets. So if it goes that far, we didn't see other planets in our own solar system.
I think we have.
Or
Well,
in
not in
our
our
own,
solar.
in our own galaxy.
Are you sure? Look it up and see how many planets are in our galaxy.
Okay.
Suspected. Oh, yeah. That's right. Planet X.
8 planets. Oh wait, hang on. Are in the middle. Okay. 100 billion. I swear I never learned this in science. Not ever. In fairness, I did move schools every year and a half to 2 years to a completely different school system, and it's possible that every single time I moved, I managed to somehow miss the solar system talk.
I don't think they talked much about it, to be honest.
But yes, like literally, I've never heard this in my entire life. All of a sudden, I'm like, I kind of get why people are super fascinated by space now. I was like, okay, what? We have like 9 planets.
What to do?
I was like, what? Like, we can't live on any of them.
So you said 100 billion planets?
Uh-huh.
But only 100,000 stars.
100 million. Stop. 100,000 million.
100,000 million. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah, 100,000 million. And 100
Do they have a
billion
name for that
planets.
dwarf planet in the belt?
Huh?
He's saying and a dwarf planet in the belt. I was saying, do we have a name for it?
All I know is my mind is legit blown right now.
That's why we like barely see black holes and stuff, and we're like know so little about black holes. And
All this time I've been like
giants.
oh yeah, you know, in Doctor Who he goes to so many different planets and like, you know, they're so creative and they have like all these different ones, and I'm like, oh, it must just be because he's in a different galaxy than the Milky Way. Because I literally thought we only had 9 planets. So I was like, where is he always coming up with like all these other planets? It must be the other galaxies. And all of a sudden, now I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, our galaxy is enormous. We know nothing. We're so small.
Nothing.
I will say, if you have like an anxiety disorder of like feeling small, definitely don't research how big the galaxy is. That's horrifying.
If you want to
feel even less,
if you want to feel even more insignificant, the distance between, is it the nucleus of an atom and the outer shell of an atom, like proportionate wise, is like bigger than our galaxy.
I know. I heard it's crazy.
You're like, what?
And I will say that's what's interesting is I do feel like I learned a lot more about the building blocks of matter and genetics and how genetics works.
Genetics, and
Punnett squares, and
sneezy
biology. And I'm like,
That's
how did we manage to not learn about the planets and how enormous our galaxy is? But I did learn a lot about like regular Earth science.
It's just amazing to me how it's all baffling, from the smallest small to the biggest big.
I'm just like the fact that people spent their time finding this stuff out though too. I'm like, good on ya. I'm overwhelmed just reading the little bit off the internet. There's no way I was designed for science.
Did you see that? I just saw someone posted this thing about the girl who invented Wi-Fi was like a celebrity and movie star, and she like invented Wi-Fi, and
Really?
they used it in the war and everything. Like her basis of Wi-Fi was like the building blocks of current Wi-Fi, but they used it in the war to like triangulate missiles and stuff, I guess.
That's weird.
And it was a girl.
I feel like there's some people, man, who are just. Oh, it turns out there's 5 dwarf planets. I feel like there's some people
Wow.
whose like their mind is just made to like. Just like discover things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I do not feel like my mind was designed to discover scientific things. That is just not what my mind was made for.
Ugh. Designing hair, man. It's designing hair, man.
Oh, I thought you said it's hot in here. I was like, the air is on.
Well, it's because I'm in here.
You're supposed to compliment me, but that's fine.
Is it hot in here, or is it just you?
There you go. So Ceres, Pluto. I'm gonna guess you say that Haumea or Haumea. Okay, Make and Eris.
Eris, the goddess of chaos, right? Or she's goddess of love. No,
I do not know a goddess named Eris personally. I know Isis.
goddess of discord. I think Eris is the goddess of discord, right? No particular order. They're just out there. Who knows which one's further than the other?
Or maybe he's just saying he didn't put them in the particular order.
Maybe that too. I think Eris is the goddess of discord. You better love this hair, Keith, because this is a pain in my fingers. My fingers are like, ah.
Do you know what's crazy though, Ben, when you hear about that, is that they say that we know more about space
What we do about our own
than
ocean?
we do about our own oceans, and now that really freaks me out.
Like,
If I'm out here not knowing that there's 100 billion planets in my own galaxy, what the heck is in my deepest ocean?
Mermaids for one.
Huh?
Probably. Mermaids for one.
Probably.
Loch Ness Monster.
I'm like kind of like over not believing that the possibilities are endless.
Right?
He said sorry, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. It's okay, Keith.
Alright. Night, Blake. Thanks for tuning in and giving us helpful information about planets that I literally didn't know.
Eris is Discord, yeah. So where's some Pluto? We.
I gotta be honest with you.
Later, Blake.
I feel a little embarrassed at my lack of scientific information that I know. Any part of me that thought I could go on game shows
About this?
to answer questions.
About this, yeah.
No, not just specifically
Oh.
about this, but I was like, yeah, I know like a lot of random facts, and now I'm like, I know nothing. If they were to ask me any questions about like the galaxy, planet, space, 80% of anything else that's scientific related, math, I'm like, I don't know.
Math.
I can give you a synopsis of Lord of the Flies.
Ew. Kids eat each other. It's horrific. They're monsters. We must purge them.
I gotta say, that book was one that I definitely could have done. Actually, most of the books they made us read in high school, I did not appreciate, and I was like, why are you making me read this?
I'm sad we
Keep
didn't get to
calling it, like,
finish
a
it.
great work of art.
I liked it.
Lord of the Flies? Ugh, I didn't like that. I also hated Kite Runner.
I liked Kite Runner too.
You liked Kite? That was such a sad story.
Well, I started to. I mostly liked the fighting part. Like, that sounded really cool to me. I really was about to go get.
Kite fighting?
Yeah. I was like about ready to get my own kite and put glass on it and go fight other people's kites.
I feel like you can't just do that in a park. Someone's gonna get cut, and you're gonna be like, I was kite fighting.
I'm cutting you.
The cop is gonna be like, I'm going to arrest you now because you can't stick pieces of glass on a kite.
And sand and whatever.
Yeah, they used like shards of glass and
Metal.
and yeah.
I wonder if they have it on YouTube. That'd be great. Like actual kite fighting.
Runner? Oh, I was like, please don't make me watch the movie. I already had to watch it after reading the book, and it was terrible.
You guys must have watched it, or you guys must have read it like later than I did, because it wasn't out when we watched it.
9th or 10th grade? I'm pretty sure is when I read Kite Runner, and then they made us watch the movie, and I was like, why are you subjecting me to the horribleness of this twice?
Alright, so this is the smirk look, hence the raised eyebrow and smirk. What do you think, Keith? Are we good for the smirked head?
Every time you say it, it definitely sounds like you're saying Smurf. Do you mean like sly smile? How about that?
Sly Cooper, Thievius Reckonus. Whew. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, I feel like he never answered me if he knows how to speak in zeros and ones.
He might have missed that.
He said the dwarf planet is sneezy.
Oh, yeah, I
missed
saw
it.
that. I'm guessing that was a joke since Blake told us the real answer.
Yeah, it was just
But I
funny
liked it
because he
as
picked
sneezy.
a dwarf from the Seven
That's true.
Dwarfs.
Yeah, no problem, Keith. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and
Go ahead.
uh, duplicate.
I missed so many of Blake's information. I didn't even see it.
He's quiet.
No, it was just like because I was reading on the internet.
I'm just teasing. I
Oh.
said he's quiet because they're just typing.
Oh, because they're just. I just was like reading on the internet, so I missed a bunch of his comments.
Like, it doesn't get much more quiet than
And
someone's
people
typing.
typing to you.
Yeah.
It's true. Oh man. Does everyone's skull like jut out, or do you think that's weird that mine does that?
I have to like double check that I put the eyes at the same distance. Okay, now I fixed it. I was like, that's weird. I kept wondering why the one I felt so much bigger, and I was like, well, it should be the same size.
I guess it goes over everybody. What did I do? No, I don't want that.
Don't do drugs, kids.
You ever like click something without paying attention to the link you clicked on, and then it turns out it's for an app you own, and so they open it in the app, and you're like, no, I don't want to be looking at this in the app. Like this one pulled up Amazon because I wanted to look up what a human skull looked like.
Uh-oh. Keith started speaking in zeros and ones for you.
Oh man, I don't have a translator. I think I have one on Google. I was just joking about being like, if I say a bunch of zeros and ones.
Hello, oh, nice.
Oh, cool. Oh.
Did you know that offhand then, or did you do a translate? Or is that a secret that you can't tell us?
Well, that's what I was basically wondering. Is I was like, well, if you do computer code, I would assume you have to somewhat read binary. It's essentially just a sequence, right? Once you know what the sequence is, it's like there's only a possibility of 26 sequences, right? Because it's a letter, not a word for each sequence, right? Yeah. So
Or delete.
so you just have to have the sequence of numbers memorized for what letter, right? Because it's an alphanumeric, isn't it? Isn't that what that means when it's? No, maybe that's not the right word.
Okay, I need to move the head over a little bit. It's off kilter. That's fine. Merge down. Okay.
Now I'm waiting. Okay. 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 So when you have to code something, do you run it through a program and the program spits out the code in binary? Because I thought that's the only way you could run computer code is through binary.
I think most of it does it on its own. I think that's the point.
Does it? No one thinks that's creepy as heck? The computer codes itself? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of.
That's horrifying.
You're silly. Nothing's more horrifying than what just happened earlier to me today.
What?
The fiat thing.
Yeah, that was terrifying. Can we aim for ML 2.0 body?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. What I just simply do at that point is size it down afterward. It's like a 11%. size down. I'm gonna have to fix so much that I changed it already. Merged the eyes down. Darn it. Oh well, that's fine.
I feel like something is not all the way 100% right.
Well, I already started merging stuff, so we're in trouble if it's
too
not.
late? Okay.
We're in trouble if it's not. With how
I mean, it's not off so much that it doesn't look like his face. There is something that doesn't feel totally right. I feel like his whole chin in general is farther away from his lips, maybe?
You know, that's what's confusing,
Like his
is that in
jaw?
the front it does look like that, in the side it looks like that, but like when I originally had it, it seemed.
Do you have a way to just extend the length up his chin and jaw just a smidge? Because I feel like that's the only part that it's not like 100%. Like all the features seem like they're the right size and in the right places. It's only the jaw that I'm like, needs to be like a little longer. Like that? Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
You can wait and see if he agrees. I feel like it was just like his chin was not
Something that seemed a little off, yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's really close, but it's just not 100% exactly where it needs to be. I think that looks literally almost exactly like the picture now. I mean, with aside from the fact that it's obviously not a human face and it's a printing face.
Robot? Oh.
No, just that it's going to be printed and not like a real human. He says he likes that better too. Yeah, I think that's much more like it's like now his pretty much exact face proportions.
I told you my eyes get tired of this stuff. It's you gotta tell me.
I know. I stopped paying attention to his face.
Well, I mean,
You had it spot on, and then I almost think it's like maybe when you went to make his chin not jet out so far, you brought it up too high.
I might have.
Because I feel like you were really spot on, and then I stopped paying attention.
That's what usually happens.
That was it. He has such a nice head shape. So round.
All right.
Do people tell you that a lot, Keith? Like, hey man, you got a good head shape.
Okay,
Nice.
I think.
Nice round noggin.
So looking at this, it looks proportionate, right? Or, I mean, we're not.
To the scale of the torso,
Yeah. Or do I need to make his head bigger?
I feel like the head needs to be a smidge bigger because that head, in comparison to that neck, if that's the type of figure he'll be going on,
It'll go on a
little
smaller one.
underwhelming.
It'll go on a smaller one, but it's like only 10% difference. It's still proportionate, so I just got to make sure it's proportionate here, and then whenever
I would make his head somewhat larger.
Again?
Is there a percentage to make it look? Well, hang on, I'm waiting. 1 second.
No, it looks like you should be cut
They
up.
tell you that all the time. I can't tell if he's being serious or not, but for real, you do have such a nice shaped head.
He says you
Your
have no
head's
idea.
so round. It's like the perfect skull shape. In a super non-creepy way. Okay, I think maybe could you stand to go the tiniest bit bigger?
Okay, I think I just didn't change the gain, so
Okay.
I'm wait for you to catch up.
Tend to be oversized proportionally.
Yeah, I
And
made.
most people's heads are larger than their body. That's why it's so.
I just got done
astonishing when they're
accidentally
smaller.
making Dean's head really big, and now they're like, could you make it smaller? And I'm like, I can make it smaller. Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry.
Okay, I think that's right. And you said the torso will be smaller on the other.
Yeah,
one?
it'll be smaller. So then I'll size the head smaller too, but it's
I still
proportionately
think
smaller.
you can maybe go the smidgen bit bigger, like just a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Not like comically, but I do think in proportion to the neck. like you just made it the exact same size because you made it small and then big again.
It's weird.
I know, but I think what happened is you made it exactly as small as you made it back big. It didn't look any different.
Okay, there we go. I feel like this is the max I should make it.
Okay, okay. I'm waiting. Okay, I think that's it.
We got it.
I think that's
Okay.
it. Now it looks like it goes more, and then you said the body is going to be a little bit smaller, so I think that will look better.
Well, and then, yeah, I'll increase the size, or decrease the size of the head, too.
Are you the one who laughed at that comment of his?
No.
Oh, somebody did.
That's
It wasn't
funny.
me. That's funny. I will laugh at it, though, because that is really funny.
Whew.
I will say, like, when our son came out,
Whoop.
that was the first. Well, I'm saying
I'm just teasing.
when we gave birth, the nurses were just telling me over and over how, like, what a perfect skull he had. Like, he just had the most beautiful. They were like, his head shape. It's just the most perfect head. And, like, I was like, thank you. I thought the same thing. I was like, it's just the most perfect little skull shape. And now he's bigger and he has floofy hair and you can't hardly see it. But when he was a baby, I was just like, he has like the perfect little head. No flat spots, no weird bumps. And I can say that because I have a weird flat spot on the back of my head. Or my mom, I think, definitely let me lay down for too long when I was a baby.
Okay, now we play the game of...
Uh-oh. What are you doing? Why are you moving pieces of his face around? It seems so dangerous.
It's not doing what it's supposed to.
Okay. Did you accidentally move pieces of his face that wasn't supposed to be moved? Ha! His head turned into a pill.
What a pill.
Did you just undo his chin? Now you have to do it again?
I had to do a second head. And I did it before we fixed it.
Oh, okay. Keith, do you feel like it looks like you? I think the hardest part to see the entirety of yourself in it is that this is an action figure body that you put it on, and we all have a different neck than an action figure, and so it always kind of throws you just a second when you're looking, because you're like, well, that's not my neck, those aren't my shoulders, that's not my chest. Like, seeing your face on somebody else's body is like, that's weird.
They're weird.
Though I do actually think you ended up meshing his head really good with that body. Did you have anybody on YouTube? Have you been checking?
People have been watching. Looks like someone's been watching for an average of 15 minutes. That's a lot. But
Well,
no one
thanks,
really
person.
talks on their same.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of empty.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah.
Hey, YouTube people.
Like and subscribe.
Don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications to be alerted every time I upload. There's like a whole thing that I feel like you're really supposed to say when you do YouTube that like I feel like you have to have it like planned out. Don't forget to ring that bell. That's what everybody always says.
I think it's a kid thing.
And you're usually supposed to be like, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between blah 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 blah. But you don't do that, so you're just like, I go live anytime I possibly can, usually in the evening, somewhere around 7:30.
Right.
Tune in if you can. But I will say that's almost maybe why it would be the most important for them to set up an alert, because otherwise they'll just have to catch it if they catch it.
Right. Okay, I think I rematched the two. Yes, it's doing that weird has a disease thing, as it's like the mesh is like, which one do we put to the top because there's two in the same exact space when we do this. He wanted a more neutral looking head as well, so it's like, oh yep, let's go ahead.
I mean, I do think it looks like him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he said he thinks so. So
in fairness, I don't know him in person, so I mean,
yeah, no
I
problem,
am just
Keith.
going off of pictures.
So, my important thing tonight then is I was going to finish up this for you, and then I'm going to get it sliced and sent over to Robert, because he's actually going to print it on his new printer tomorrow, so he can start painting this head. And then tomorrow, then we'll get the neutral expression. Make sure you like the neutral expression, and then I don't have such the time crunch on making sure that gets done. So I just had kind of a time crunch to get this done. I'm like, ugh, I gotta get this done in time.
You can also set up alerts to see that Headhunters is also going live by checking how you follow them on Facebook, and then you can go and set up to be alerted every time they post a video. So if you're doing that on Facebook, that way, especially if you're expecting a commission from Joel and you want to be able to,
which I only do if you
and,
give me permission to show it off. So.
But if you have comments or questions, or you want to be part of the design process and you don't just want to have to wait for pictures every time, it's nice to be alerted so that you know that that he's working on your stuff. So
yeah, I enjoyed it. Said it's always nice having some talkative people that break up the monotony.
Mad Libs with me.
Yeah. My wife doesn't have many friends, so when someone does Mad Libs with her, she's
I don't have
over the
any
moon.
friends. You put an M there.
Sorry.
But it's any.
Sorry. She doesn't have any friends. So we're going back to the torso. So, as I said, all we got to do here is go to 3D Print Hub, update size, change it to 60.89, and then that gives me the head size. And then what I do is, it threw me off for a second when it, so I'll actually decrease the size in the printing program. That's where I make it mash up to 2.0 at that point. New folder. There it is. And then I'll rename it 2.0 once I decrease the size. Okay. So that's it with Keith's head tonight, and I just need to finish. I need to make Dean's head smaller real quick, so that way in the morning I'm ready to get everything all sliced on that and send it over to Robert to print. Are you watching, Wifey? I'm going to need you to double check with me on size of
1 second.
what I'm making this thing.
Sorry, I started reading something.
How dare you? actually don't think it's that crazy big. I guess it must be the combination of his hair and everything.
For who?
For Dean here.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing it yet. I must be behind a minute. In comparison to the torso's shoulder and neck. Good night, Keith. Have a good night.
Good night,
Thanks
later.
for tuning in and giving feedback. We appreciate it.
Yeah, makes my life easier than having to message you every single time.
I think I can see what he's saying, maybe?
Okay.
Did you already make it smaller?
No, not yet. Oh, shoot. That won't
I
work.
feel like you're right, because it's somewhere between being like the right size, and I'm worried about if you make it too much smaller, it'll seem too small. Does he have a different size character, perhaps? No, wait, take it down while you just had it. Crap. You already brought
It's
it back
okay.
up.
I forgot that I'm going to have to
Oh, okay.
redo how it goes.
I'm like, actually, when you took it down just that little bit, it was actually, like, perfect. I feel like all you did was shave, like, a millimeter off or something, and it was, like, perfect.
Okay. What do you think? Oh, I guess I better remove the tool.
Pull the dial off, yeah.
Hold that dial.
Don't touch that dial, folks. Seriously, don't touch it.
You'll make a sad panda cry. Is that small?
I think that's good.
That placement seems.
And it seems to be like pretty much exactly spot on with the head shadow behind it. So.
And if I made it smaller, that's too small.
And the shoulders seem to be roughly where his shoulders and neck are. So, I believe that is correct. I think if you make it smaller, it might be too small.
So this looks too small.
Hang on. Yeah, I think you just made it like a micron too small now.
Okay. Okay. I think you're right. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think where it was right before you did that was perfect.
Okay. And then I pushed it out a little bit. Yep, we're
I don't know how you measure. What is this measure in? Like, if I tell you pulled a millimeter off, is that a lot?
There is no measurement. It's really until I go to print it. It can be 40 feet long for all that matters.
I mean, but it does matter is what I'm saying. So, like, if you obviously made his head smaller, you're fitting it to something. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter what size his head was. So, what did you just fit his head to?
The torso. It's all about proportions. It has nothing to do with the actual numbers. Proportionately speaking, it looks better.
Oh, but the torso doesn't have a proportionate like size?
Nope, not until I make it. Not until I give it a size.
Okay, so he literally just felt like the head
It was just a little big
was
in
too
comparison
big for
to the size
torso.
of the torso. Yep.
Okay. So you didn't print him ahead and give it to him, and he was like, it doesn't go well with my character.
Yeah, that's more or less. Yeah, I printed it,
Oh,
and
so
it got to
him-
Robert, and Robert was like, "This looks a little big." It actually worked really well with 7-inch figures. So I was like, "All right, I'll give you
This
that."
was a scenario where the size did in fact matter. That 7 was perfect, 6 was too small.
Oh man, we have fun.
I'm guessing it's good it got to Robert before it got to England, and he was like,
Right.
"Bummer." Right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's where it's
Yes,
going?
yes.
Yeah.
This one's going to England. Robert goes, "What do I do with these other heads?" I'm like, "I guess paint them and sell them. We have permission to sell them."
You're like, well, we'll fix that, but in the meantime, we're going to sell your slightly oversized head.
Right? I said, Robert now has 3D printers now. I'm just going to send him a sliced file and he'll just print it. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, don't have to wait and don't have to charge all that extra.
Wait, I thought he always did. Oh, wait. No,
You're
I'm
thinking of
thinking about
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yep, yep.
I was like, so does Anthony do any painting, or is he printing exclusively?
He'll paint his own stuff from time to time, but
Okay, he doesn't do
he's mostly
style.
exclusively printing, and he started using Robert too to paint.
Okay. So Robert's getting floods of orders.
Oh yeah, he has like 10 at all times.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
He's been spending like 10 hours a day painting stuff.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm like, I can see why you'd be stressed.
Thinking you use one of those giant magnifying glasses when you do that. So
Probably.
your eyes don't strain after long periods of time.
Right. All right. Now we're done with Dean again. so for the third time tonight, or fourth time tonight, I think actually.
Has Dean ever actually been on here when you were working on his head?
I don't think so, because
Okay.
once again, he's
So
like
he's always
7
been-
hours ahead.
That's
so
true.
it's
I forgot
a
about that.
really
I literally
weird.
just talked about that and then forgot. Do they participate in time changes?
I think we discussed this. I think the whole world does for the most part.
I don't know if anyone after our country does. The world participate.
Time change.
See. While the adoption of daylight saving times is almost always rife with controversy, most of the world, except for countries around the equator, I was going to say something about the equator, has implemented daylight saving times at one point or another. Approximately 70 countries utilize daylight savings time in at least a portion of the country.
Well,
But I think there's like 180 countries in the world, so less than half of them
right.
participate. Which again, I don't understand how we can function as a globe
With people going
if
willy nilly.
part of it doesn't participate.
So,
I don't understand.
all right.
Okay.
Here we are, that time again.
Okay, it's that time where we say,
We were tired and ready to go to bed, and we're not going to take it.
oh, I thought you were going to say the whole spiel of, please, like,
Oh,
subscribe.
no, I hadn't got to that part yet. I said we're tired and we ain't going to
Yeah.
take it, so we
We're
ain't
not gonna take it. Unless it's a Tylenol PM.
More money.
Well, no, because you're like, I'd rather go to bed, so.
That's true. So, I'm sorry, guys. It was going to be another goblin night. At the very least, I was going to just fix up some goblin, but...
I mean, it's 10. You made it to 10. Much people aren't going to be watching past 10 anyway.
Well, yeah, but I wanted
But tomorrow-
I wanted a third goblin head was what I was supposed to do
Tomorrow.
tonight. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll be back to the goblins. I'm going to fix up Keith's head in the morning for his
You'll
neutral
have tomorrow,
expression.
Friday, and Saturday, for sure.
Yeah, I just kind of... Yeah, I have 3 goblin heads. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was wanting to print them Sunday. Anyway,
Well, get
We'll
them
talk
done
about that
Thursday,
later.
Friday, Saturday.
that's right.
One night for each. Bust them out. Make it your thing. Well, are you done with everybody else, commissions-wise?
I'll have to make that Gary old head too, which will be in the morning probably that I'll be doing.
Yeah, just work on that in the morning. Don't do a live for it.
Yeah. Anyway, alright. Like, subscribe. Be looking forward to
Or do a live
more
video.
goblin heads. Yeah. Be looking forward to more goblin heads and a Gariel head, which is another version of a crocodile. And
It's a cuter version of a crocodile.
it's kind of cute. Yeah, its eyes are a little weird. I didn't notice that before, but it's got bug eyes, big, weird.
I know, that's
eyes.
why I think it's cuter. It has giant eyeballs.
Like,
I'm like, oh, look at your cute little eyes and your skinny little
Snail
mouth.
eyes. Anyway, alright. Had fun with you guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
Thanks
tuning
for
in. Thanks
being a part of the
for-
conversation.
Helping make this interesting. It's viewers like you that support us. Later.